Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. It's me, your friend Corey, doing a little different craft today for Valentine's Day. We are going to make friendship bracelets. I have about 6 more to get done before the morning. It's about 2:30 in the morning, so they're going to keep me company while I work on one. This is my color palette, and as you saw in my thumbnail, there is quite a variety of colors that I've used, and they are very, very individual. Trying to make sure that I'm using fun, springy colors, not so much the traditional Valentine's colors. Now, first thing you need, tape measure. It's really important that you get the right length, because believe me, I've made a couple small ones and I wasn't too impressed. So I always just pinch it here around the 0. And I'm Canadian, so I like to go centimeters because I do. So I'm just gonna hold it here. You don't have to be like super exact. Okay, it is quite forgiving unless you go way, way small. So we're just gonna keep on pulling length. I like to go for about 87. 87 usually does it. This is something relaxing to do while you're watching a movie. So we're at 60, 70, 80, 87 centimeters right here. Hold that. Alright. Just gonna suck this back in. I have kids, so it's always a good practice. Alright. I'm gonna pop these over here and we're gonna rewrap. Now these are sort of the Wonder, I have no idea what kind this is, not marked. People sell these all the time, and I tend to pick them up just for these kind of projects. I've always had sets of these around, or I get them at the dollar store or wherever. But a lot of people don't mark their embroidery floss, which absolutely floors me. So I don't know if I'm matching it up right, or if this is even the right one. Some are anchor, some are kinds we don't normally use. So that works out for me. I have been making friendship bracelets since I was 10 or 11. Still have the same books. It's pretty funny. I think I showed them on the channel before. I'm not sure where they are, because this was one of my funnest, easiest ones. That's why I chose it, because I have less than 24 hours to get 22 of these made. Alright, make a nice little slip knot. And that's so. And you tie it. Right? I love the V to this. I've always enjoyed this particular pattern. So I have a straight pin, nice metal one. Got a whole set of these, and this is just a regular cork board, bulletin board. I like it better than taping to anything, because I find tape doesn't always hold it, because sometimes I can get a little bit intense. So we're just gonna pop this up here. Oh, maybe over here. I've been keeping a list of the kids right here, but because I'm filming right now, I took it off. So that's what these 2 pins are for. Alright, let's see. Well, how do we want to place our colors? That is always my first job. I always seem to start on the side. In the book, they tell you to start on this side, but I like to start on this one. I know. Just breaking all the rules over here. I'm going to go yellow, purple, green, and then that golden umber. Yeah, I think about 6 is all I have left to do. I'm not 100% sure how long these take. So, because you put this in the middle, you do 4 of your strands on this side. When you're starting, you're going to want to push this up because this will leave a weird gap. And I hate that gap. It drives me nuts. Alright. So then what I like to do, because it takes a couple rounds before your colors start to sit where they're supposed to every time. Believe me, I have had issues mixing it up. So my first color is yellow. And then purple. Then green. And then the umber. Okay, so what you're doing is you're going under, over, and pulling. Go around, go underneath and through, and give her a little pull. It looks super, super complicated, but it really isn't. I've done this one other time. I did this for my son at one point while he was in elementary school. And my daughter promised this to people. And I had a lot of big projects for my husband's birthday. So this is a last minute. I have been doing this all day. Tomorrow, Valentine's Day, I get to go and do some cleaning. Maybe work on a project of my own. Or start my son's birthdays extravaganza, because that's gonna be a lot of fun videos. I tell you, there's gonna be a lot coming up here. I'm starting some really fun stuff. I got some really fun videos coming up, and that's gonna be great. So yeah, I just put on a movie. And I just go. So you meet in the middle, you do 2. Sometimes I flip and flop them because sometimes they start to change length. And I'm making them all roughly about this big, so it's only a certain amount. I'm going as quick as I possibly can because, like I said, I only have a couple hours. I got my daughter to cut out some construction paper, put her name and the recipient's name, and I'm going to put a hole in them, and I'm going to tape this piece on the back of it, or I'll do this piece. I think it's going to end up being this piece, though. I'll probably hold it better, just so they stay in place, and they'll be across there, and she'll be able to hand them out like little Valentines. They're from her. If they don't like them, they don't like them. The only thing it really costs is my time and effort, which is not great, but I mean, I just really didn't want to spend the money on Valentine's, and I didn't have time to make anything fancier, so this is what we're doing. I'm sure I can get it done. I used to sell these on occasion in my preteen years. Just a couple, nothing major. People would order them, tell me what colors they wanted. I did try to do one that does a heart shape in this, and I didn't like how it worked up. It was really, I found it to be very sloppy. In the picture and stuff, and one I made out of yarn was really cute, but with the embroidery floss, it didn't really lend itself to the different color changes. And I'm not doing all pink and black. And I don't think little boys would be really appreciative of pink and black hearts. So I'm trying to keep it kind of unisex. You can go any way you like with them. And this gorgeous one in the mix that I almost want to keep for myself, so I may have to make one for just me. It's varying shades of blue. And if I had more browns, I definitely would do one for my son. Maybe we'll see what happens. And here we go. We're down to burnt. So we've gone through one whole rotation of the colors. Here we are. I don't really like using variegated. I do have some variegated threads, and I do not like using them so much for these. I don't think they hold up, especially with this pattern. Their patterning is so weird that I tried it and I just can't get into it. And back to our beautiful yellow. I really like this yellow. It's kind of a golden. Well, with sort of jewel tones with this one, I think. It's feeling very jewel tones, where like this one is a little more dragony. You get a dragon vibe with that green. So yeah, tomorrow we'll probably be back to our usual stuff, or maybe I'll just do some diamond art. I don't know. I know I'm gonna have to do some house cleaning though. My house isn't bad, but there's some spots that I definitely have to hit up. And I gotta get the ladder out and do some of the higher up dusting. It's really needing to be done because we're coming up on warmer weather. I just took down all the decorations last week, so I have no excuses. The living room fan needs to be done, and that's one of my least favorite jobs. We have a big bulkhead that goes around the living room and dining area, and it gets really dusty. It catches a lot of dust in the walls. Oh, let me tell you, these walls. Like high ceilings, like really high ceilings, are great in theory. I don't think I'd have my permanent home with such high ceilings. I've got a couple cobwebs I can't quite reach even with tools because I'm only 5'2", and even on my big ladder, I still can't reach them. And I'm a bit of a chicken. I am not standing on the top of that ladder just to get a cobweb. There is no way, no how. So I am looking at getting something a little bigger than my 25-foot telescopic handle I have for the end of my duster. It's not quite tall enough. And I'm on a ladder. Like, ridiculous. But the walls get so dusty, and I had to get a ladder and all that kind of stuff because I can't stand looking at a furry wall. Like, you can see it in spots, and it's really bad higher up. And my one child my son has a bit of a allergy to dust, and it makes him have constant sneezing and coughing, and it's something that him and I have always been really particular about, and it's no good. Pull that a little tighter. Now it's a tiny bit looser than I'd like. Well, looks like I gotta take this row apart. So what I do, I'll just loosen that up a little, if I can. Gently, gently, gently. And what I like to do is, instead of trying to undo each knot, I'll pull out the strand under it. Now this happens to me occasionally where I have to pull something out. Like the knot just went the wrong direction, or something's just not laying right. Or in this case, we've got this big giant loop that I really don't like. I feel those look kind of sloppy. And I'm trying my best to make sure, yeah, see, this is twisted over. It's not supposed to twist like that. So yeah, this whole row kind of got away from me, which is no fun. Let's see here. cut it. Wow, I really did this not really good. That's good. Not good, actually. And okay, this is really embarrassing me because this never has ever happened to me. I'll do this by myself and I can take it apart, no problem. And of course, Murphy's Law, I got a show and make a big mess of it. There we go. Loosen up without wrecking the fibers. Because that's always part of the problem too. You just don't want the fibers to be wrecked. I don't need a spot where it looks like it's been torn apart by chickens. There we go, and just give that a nice little pull here, and this did not tighten the way I wanted it to. So, smooth out are beautiful. And the thing I do like about using the embroidery floss in particular, especially just regular run-of-the-mill embroidery floss, is that it's cotton. So, if your recipients want to wear it in water, I just never take it off. It should hold up just fine. I know I've got some from when I was younger, and I wear them on and off. I've got 2 from when I was 12 years old. I only wear them occasionally. But they still are doable. And here we go. So, I'm going to call it here, because this is going to take me a little bit of time. Not much longer, I'm talking maybe 5-10 minutes more. My foot's asleep, but I kind of need to get up and walk around for a few minutes. I'll probably just end up finishing this instead and moving on to the next 5 and get it done because, morning comes, time waits for no man, all the good stuff. Anyways, thanks for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box. Hopefully this was a interesting video. And I'll see you again very, very soon.